Hi guys, today this is Saloni again, and we are bringing you another live today. Okay, and again I will have my guest Jyoti with me, with whom we are going to discuss a very important topic, which is being vulnerable. Okay, we just wanted to understand how much a person is being comfortable accepting that they are vulnerable. Most of the time we put a guard in front of us so that people do not take advantage of us, or they do not use the trust, or break the trust which we have on them. So we'll just talk about the same. Let me Hey Jyoti, are you there? Yes.
Just a moment, and I'm not able to see anything.
Yeah, it's
Hello?
okay. That's fine. I'm
Okay.
able to see you.
Okay, great. Hi,
Yeah.
Saloni. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Awesome.
Okay, that's nice to hear actually. That's a very good way of actually greeting yourself. Even if you're feeling in the lowest of mood, always say that I'm feeling awesome. That
Yes.
changes it, that shifts your complete mindset or the mood towards a higher level.
Yes, Saloni, exactly. Whenever people ask me, how am I doing? And they'll ask in a very low or sort of a okay voice. And I have never said okay or good. I have always said awesome. So that's a actually, very great way of starting the day.
Great. Okay, on that note, Jyoti, I just wanted to ask, suppose you're feeling low, as we were talking about that even if you're feeling low, you were, you're telling people that you're awesome. But there are times, in behind those words, hidden are that you might be going through something, which you might feel that if you disclose, you might be disclosing your vulnerability. How comfortable are you to accept the fact that you might be vulnerable someday, and sometimes you're not strong enough to maybe fight the situation or face the situation? So how
Mhm.
comfortable you are, and what you want to know? I want to know about this a bit more from you.
Mhm. So, vulnerability, first we need to understand what exactly is vulnerability. So, that is a state of mind wherein you are expecting a potential harm. If you express your feelings to others, you are at a stage wherein you are thinking that that person may harm you, right?
Right.
So, awesome, feeling good or awesome, like feeling awesome, it switches your mood at a different level. That is for sure. But what we are talking about here is vulnerability. Vulnerability is being yourself or telling what you're feeling or what you are doing right now, and without any hesitation or without any feeling of being judged. So when vulnerability may be perceived in a very negative way for a layman term, if we can say, but actually vulnerability is something that gives you physical and mental strength at most of the times. So it's not that you have to be in that creepy state of mind to keep talking negative, negative, negative about yourself. But at the same time, consistently you're doing something, something is not happening. So instead of hiding it from a mentor or a good friend who you think can support you, or just be yourself, be honest with yourself first. So once you will be honest with yourself, that's when you will convey your thoughts or emotions to the world.
That's actually a very good point, and I wanted to ask you on that notes. As you said, like you always want to feel that even if you express yourself, you should not be judged. Okay, we have, in the society, we have this a lot of stress that what people are going to think about me. That phrase, "Char log kya kahenge." So, I think most of us are stressed not because we are vulnerable, but because we take it as a fear of being misjudged by the other people. So how important it is that we still keep those judgments,
Aside.
listen to them, but not let it affect us,
Correct.
and be true to ourselves. Important, the most important is not getting judged by others, but how we judge our own selves. So
Yes.
how can a person take accept that fact that okay, if someone has said me something, and that's completely fine, that is their perspective, their point of view, I should not get affected by that fact, because we cannot stop people from judging you, we cannot stop people from saying things to you, right? That is not in our control. What is in our control is how we respond to
Correct.
that particular situation, or what is our perspective about that thing. So I've seen a lot of people being falling into depression, into a lot of you can say foundations, just because what other people are going to say. If I say this to them, they will think that I am weak, then probably they might take advantage of me. So what is your perspective on that, and how that a person can change that perspective shift, that they do not have to be afraid of what other people are saying, they just have to accept whatever they are going through.
Exactly. Nicely started, Saloni. Sandeep Bindra, that is the famous line of Sandeep Bindra. He says, "Sabse bada rog kya kahenge log."
Yeah.
So it is about if you take something positively, kya kahenge log, and that's what stops us for taking actions, or for doing something which you always wanted to do. Okay, so that is also a mindset problem. As I said, it's all mindset, it's all in your mind. So I'll give you a nice example. In one of my lives wherein I was talking at the pace wherein I am talking right now, so I got a feedback from a couple of people that when you talk so fast, there are people in the world who may not be able to understand you. Okay, so that is one feedback. I took it as a feedback, and I try implementing on our live yesterday. And yes, after watching my yesterday's live, couple of my followers or my friends came up to me and told me, what happened to you yesterday? Why you started so slow, and why you were so slow? So no matter what you do, people are
Exactly.
like you. So just be yourself. Don't try to copy anyone. Don't try to
Right.
copy anyone. Just be yourself. Be your unique self. That's the reason we all know that's a jargon, but that is the fact. Every one of us have got a unique DNA. So just be yourself and show it to the world. That is vulnerability.
Great. So tell me about the last time you felt that you were vulnerable and you were not hesitant to actually pour it out or accept it or express it to someone.
Okay,
And
so
what was that?
yeah, I'll just give you an instance. The time I left my
Mhm.
job, and I was saying that you should not leave your job for pursuing a career which you have not, or neither of your family members have started, and you are not the second generation entrepreneur. So it becomes very easy for someone whose father or whose sisters are already into that business,
Mhm.
and you passing on the trend. But for me to become a life coach, I got a lot of negativity from people all around. And one particular statement that I still remember is someone told me that you do not have anything in your hands. Once you have a job or once you have established career, that's when you can leave the job. And I was so damn sure. And I said in Hindi, I would like to say कि अभी तक हाथ पॉकेट में था, इसके लिए हाथ में कुछ नहीं है. जब हाथ पॉकेट से निकालेंगे तो सब कुछ हाथ में आएगा. So that's how you take things in a certain way, so that something should not impact or affect the sentiments of the other person, but at the same time your point has to be there. What you want to do, don't get carried away by the dilemma
So
of
did
the universe or
you
the.
felt vulnerable at that time when people were saying this to you?
Yes, I was very much clear, and I was. There was a moment, when it was not happening, and I was trying my luck out everywhere else. And when the things were not happening, I happened to talk to Arfin, our coach. All
Mhm.
right, I got an opportunity to talk to him, and I cried in that session for long 45 minutes. And that's the moment when Arfin told me that now Jyoti is becoming vulnerable, and that's when
Yeah.
she will start. And
And
that
even,
was.
even I have seen you vulnerable in one of the days when you had your lives, and I called you at like 10:30 at night, and you're like, "It's not moving, it's not happening," and you started crying. And I think that was the time, that was your strongest moment actually. That you accepted that okay, it's okay. Like I am not, I'm doing something and it's not happening, so I'm feeling low, and
Yes.
that's okay. That's completely fine. So unless and until you go and express, you will not be getting your answers
Yes.
also. You know,
And expressive to others only comes when you are honest with yourself. So,
correct.
saying
Yes.
incorrectly that it will happen one day, it will happen one day. No, no, no. You have to be honest with yourself, and that's when
Correct.
you will be honest with your loved one or someone who is there for you. Okay, so yes,
So basically, it's accepting your flaws as they are, and you have to embrace that. I'll tell you one of my issues which I had. Like again, as a personality 8, I'm a bit dominant, right? And I have this very bad habit which has been pinpointed by people. Not I did not realize it. It was pinpointed by people that You do not let the person speak completely, and you say things half in the way. You jump into your opinions. Let them speak, let them complete, and then you say whatever you had to say. And trust me, I never used to do that intentionally. It somehow just happened. It's the way I was. But instead of taking that in the, I felt, once or twice I felt very bad and very, very angry. How could they say that? Like, aisa to nahi hai. It was my good intention that I wanted to speak and wanted to say and everything. But then I realized that they might be also saying, for my good also, right? Correct. This might be that I might be vulnerable to the fact that I'm not a very good listener. Correct. I have to start working on that. So I took that very sportingly after in that case. And I know it has not yet, I have not reached that stage, but bit by bit, I'm trying to reach there. And I am completely okay to tell it to the whole world that yes, I might not be a very good listener. And I have to work on that. So I think that's one of the biggest strengths people can have is they can accept their flaws, they can embrace their flaws, because unless and until they accept that they have those issues, they will not be able to evolve. Correct. I will not even say change is not the word, because they don't need to change. We don't need to change. We are not broken. We do not need to be fixed. We need to evolve. What could be better than us, how we were yesterday, rather than how we are from the other person? Jyoti cannot be Saloni, Saloni cannot be Jyoti, right? You have your own flaws and perfections, and your strong points. I can have my own flaws and my strong points. So it's important, like, unless and until you accept the fact, you will not be able to evolve. And
Exactly. So very, very nicely, touched base on the point that we are evolving beings. Okay, that's the reason we are being called beings, and none of the animals on the entire planet are called beings. Okay, so we are constantly evolving every day. The point here is, even if you look at the professionals, so the doctors, they are known as practicing doctors or
yes,
practicing medical practitioners. Lawyers, they are called practicing lawyer. So it's not that no one is perfect in the world, and we also don't say that we are life coaches. No, we are not life
no,
coaches. Sadhguru is not a life coach, right? Even Gaur Gopal Das is not a life coach. We are practicing coaches, right? So even if
correct.
we involved for 20 years, we will still be practicing, and every day every client of us will be teaching us something or the other, which is a knowledge sharing. So the moment you become vulnerable, that the moment you start learning and start accepting the good things to you, you start connecting with those sort of people, wherein you attract good things in your life.
Like, I would rather actually say you said a very amazing point that is the reason we are called beings and practicing. The profession is a practicing profession because we evolve. One of the comments which I got from someone is, "You speak so much. How can you be a coach? You will not let the others speak. You will not let your clients speak to you." I think again that was the flaw which I had to understand that again I am evolving. I was not able to see. It is, I just heard one of the quote is like, the eyelashes are closest to your eyes, but still you are not able to see it. Correct. Someone else sees that, right? So there are times when we are not able to see our flaws, but someone else does. And when they point it out, it's better. We have to first have our wisdom to understand if that is something which is good for me, if I evolve, or if it is something which is better to ignore. There will be many, many opinions and comments. Not everything is needed to be grasped from Correct. From the outside, right? You have to have that wisdom to understand which is for you, which is good for you. Like, you cannot just take any medicine if you have a toothache, right? You cannot take the medicine of a cough and cold for that, right? So everything, particularly, you have to understand where to let it go and what to you know keep inside you to evolve. So I think that is very important.
Become a selective listener, you mean? Become a selective listener, and if
Selective
something
listener.
then
The word
only.
is a selective listener, right? Yes.
Yes, great.
I wanted to ask my audience also, like, when do they feel the most vulnerable, or when was the last time they felt vulnerable and they thought, they didn't have that courage to express it, or they didn't have the courage to accept it. Okay, that's okay. They felt weak at times. I will not say the word weak here, but that is how we perceive it. There was a time I felt, if I'm not able to do something, being a challenger, I felt, okay, I'm so weak. I have to ask someone else to do it for me. Okay. If I felt like crying, I never used to cry. I felt like, okay, if I cry, people will think, oh, what a crybaby she is. She's
Correct.
crying at the drop of a hat. Okay. So that was my mindset. It was not that people might have thought it as well. They might have thought, okay, if she would have expressed, we could have helped her.
Yes.
So sometimes because of our own mindset, our own limitations, which is not limited by the people, we think that if we do, they are going to say it. बोलते हैं ना कि क्या कहेंगे लोग, ये भी हम ही सोचेंगे तो वो क्या सोचेंगे. So let them do their work. Let us do our work.
Yeah, 90% of the Saloni, we are always in this particular notion that people may judge you. But trust me, I have seen when I started becoming vulnerable, I've seen that people are there to support you. You
They
just
are.
need to have attitude. People are there to support you, and you just need to open up. Even if you open up to a stranger, you never know. He may come up with something which can be of utmost importance to you.
Definitely, definitely. So, that is what I wanted to know from our audience as well. Like, and I also wanted to convey this. It's okay to accept and show your vulnerability. And in your vulnerability lies your strength. A person who can accept this vulnerability, who can evolve from there, is the most strongest person, as per me. That is as per my opinion. I feel that. What's your take on that, Jyoti?
Definitely, like once you are trying to learn something, you can only be at your best when you are vulnerable. Otherwise, it is just show off to the society. We wanted to, like, our parents and everyone wanted us to become a professional, or maybe complete the MBA or graduation or law or medical degree to get a job. Right?
Right.
Their part is already done. And if you continue, showing it to the world, at the end of the day, you will have to answer yourself, because
Yes.
there is saying that says, the best person, the only person who were with you at your best and worst were only you. When you were crying at nights, when you had a breakup, when you had a job loss, or anything, any disease or anything that happened, the only person who was there with you is you. So you have to be honest to yourself. And only once you are honest to yourself, once you can talk your heart out in isolation, that's when you can talk to the world. But being honest is of utmost importance.
Great insight, Jyoti. On that note, please share with us, your vulnerable moments. And if you feel that, you are not able to accept that, if you feel trapped within your vulnerabilities and you're not able to, kind of flourish because of that, I just wanted to have, I just remember one line which I wanted to add before I go. Like, every artist is born out of a pain.
Wow.
Like that, the artist in you, the creativity in you is born out of something, your vulnerability. Pain is a vulnerability, right? And you will not be able to express unless and until you have that pain. I remember I've written few poems, and I've written those poems in the midst of my depression. Like, I was going through the most painful situations of my life, and the words came pouring out. So it's okay, like, and that's completely fine. Make your vulnerability your biggest strength instead of taking it as your weakness.
I just want to add something, when we talk about art, recently, and that was a notion for me that I will not be able to write the book. So two of my books are in, half done status. And I just thought that I have to get my book printed. Your first product cannot be outstanding, but it should not stop you from doing something. So on 6th month, I am an authorized author, and I have my book in the market. So I feel
congratulations to you on that, and definitely I have seen that. I'm feeling so proud of the fact that you have finally finished what you have started. It's not important what you have done, but what is more important is you have, by what you have started, you have completed that. That fulfillment, and the book is a byproduct. That was not the the real goal. The goal was to complete what you have started, right? That was the ultimate goal. The book is the byproduct, and I'm sure people are going to love that. Please tell everyone the name of your book and how they can purchase and find those books.
Yeah, it's on Amazon Kindle, and I have published it on 6th of this month. The book is called Building Lasting Relationships. So you can only have lasting relationships with your loved ones, with your spouse, if you have that bonding with your own self. Yes. So first get that bond with yourself, and then only try, and don't go into that blame game zone wherein this person did not do good to me, this person scolded me, backbitched me. No one is doing that for you. No one is that free. You have to change, get rid of that mindset and change your mindset. And that's when you build lasting relationships. So if anyone wants the link, do DM me. I'll send you the link. So far, the book has been priced at just 49 rupees. So that is just like peanuts for you. Thank you so much, Saloni.
Great, great, great. On that note, let's just, close this off, and we will meet tomorrow with another topic. And thank you for such an amazing conversation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Take
Yeah,
care. Stay.
thanks our audience. Our audience are the best, actually.
Thank
Please,
you so
please
much.
do write to us if you find anything. If you want any topic to be covered, look, if you feel that, we should have a conversation and, heart to heart on any of the topic which you feel like, please let us know, and we will definitely take that up in our next session.
Sure. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Take
Thank you,
care.
everyone. Bye.